Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream. Welcome. How are you guys doing? Month of April is gone already. 4 months of the year gone. Yeah, there you go. Time flies. I hope you guys are having a great start of the year. You guys had a good month of April. So welcome to another stream. It's Saturday again, so of course preparation for the week ahead, right? Let's take a look in. It's going to be quite a busy week finally, with the Fed meeting, ECB, non-farm payroll. It's going to be kind of a similar week as we had at the end of January, beginning of February. Like basically around this time in here, that's when it had FOMC, ECB, okay, FOMC, ECB, NFP. So let's see what that's going to mean to the market. How is the market going to react? What kind of news or forecast Pedro and Christine Lagarde is going to tell us, and how is the unemployment going to, the numbers for the NFP going to be, right? It was a little bit of a not quite weak, but still kind of dollar, for example, still within this range. We had GDP, we had PC yesterday, numbers as expected. GDP a little bit lower than expected at 1% instead of 2 or 1.1, something like that. And unemployment claims, which have been a little bit higher for the last couple, like 3-4 weeks. Still above 200 or around 230. It's going to be interesting next week in terms of the unemployment data. It's going to be quite interesting with the ADP non-farm payrolls, job openings, another one of the unemployment claims, and then of course Friday with NFP. Most likely we are expecting eventually for the NFP, for the numbers to unemployment to start to increase. So question mark is how quickly that is going to happen. Yes, aside from that, what did you have, right? Big news yesterday. It was basically big news. I mean, big movement. It was on the yen pairs. It was the first monetary policy meeting with the new governor. A little bit more of the same, however, a little bit of change of perspective, maybe for the medium term. Of maybe there is maybe a change of policy to occur in the. Imagine 1 to 1 year and a half. That's basically what it was mentioned, but we had the yen literally selling off. That's kind of what happened on the yen. So let's take a look, of course, what are we predicting now for the yen? What levels are we going to be looking at? That's basically what you're going to be doing today. I will start with our index. Our index, I like to look at correlation between assets. So we go a little bit overall across the different markets, starting with the dollar, then the indices as well, S&P, NASDAQ, DAX, going back to Euro index, Yen index, and looking at individual currency pairs, finishing maybe gold, oil, and then of course crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum. Guys, if you do have any levels that you are looking for, if you want to discuss any key levels for next week, that's kind of why I'm doing this. I'm going to be sharing with you guys what maybe I'll be looking for, and of course to discuss any key levels that you are looking for. So feel free to share, feel free to comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. There you go. So May, right? About to start. 7 May, go away. That's usually kind of what you look for. In terms of the indices, of course, earnings season has been going on for the last couple of weeks. This week we had the big tech announcing, maybe just Apple missing. We have Meta, Alphabet, Amazon, Microsoft, and so on. Basically good numbers across the big tech companies, and that's why one of the reasons why we saw NASDAQ, for example, skyrocketing, going all the way to the highs, just as an example. there you go. Here we are. Brace for impact for next week. So let's try to see what are we expecting from it, right? Nothing really changed as much. I was still kind of looking and considering price to... Oh, just give me a second. I was still looking and considering at this dollar index, looking for price to eventually break above this this range in here, and that really didn't really happen at this point. We did have that reaction from here that we were looking for. So we mentioned again, there was if you remember, even when price kind of created this volume move to the upside, there were kind of 2-3 levels that we were looking for. Alright, one of them it would be somewhere in here, another one could be a little bit within this range, and then of course the extreme in here. So somehow price kind of respected a little bit all of those levels in different phases, and eventually price got to the extreme. There's maybe even another extreme really at the lows, but so far price respected that one. Eventually I would have liked to see maybe dollar breaking a little bit this level. We did manage to break a little bit of this structure. For example, this high had been broken even before price reaching here. Eventually expecting to see a little bit of a move higher. We did manage to break a little bit this level, but it never broke this structure in here. So it's still a little bit of a question mark if this is a terrible question mark, to be honest. If price actually wants, if the dollar wants actually to continue to go higher or not. Yep. Yesterday in the session, price kind of went all the way down, kind of respect now a little bit of this demand zone that was still fresh. There's maybe a little bit of a new level in here. Otherwise, maybe just a little bit below that. Again, I would have turned bullish if we had managed to break above those highs. We still haven't managed to do that. So looking at the bigger picture, yeah, so this is where we were back in February when you had all that crazy week as well. We're going to have a similar one right now, next week. Yeah, bigger picture, maybe I could still carry on seeing dollar moving a little bit more to the downside. We are kind of all the way in between these. Which percentage are we? Yeah, in between 50 and 61.8, even if you're looking at the Fibonacci. Yeah, so this level in here has been quite important. Kind of we're looking at it in that sense, respecting quite a few times. Question mark now is price going to, as that reaction that we were expecting a little bit from this range, as that happened, and price is ready kind of to continue to move down to the downside and try to find out another levels, or going to still find something in here, right? Bigger picture, I kind of tend to look even more for a potential bearishness in here, looking at this daily time frame. But I'm still, as long as kind of price still stays within this level, maybe there's a chance still for dollar to go higher, or maybe at least maybe make another leg up, maybe retest a little bit more this zone one more time before moving down. This break of a low was just by a little bit. There's even another zone underneath those two lows that price could still visit, somewhere in there, before moving higher. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, I would prefer or be a little bit more bullish if we do break above this level here on the dollar. Oh, we have a little bit of this trend line somewhere in here. Yep. It's a lot of ranges that has been happening. This was the full movement from last week. Then this week we kind of had a little bit of the move to downside, finishing and going upwards. Like, I think if you even check the weekly candles, you can see what has happened during these last couple of weeks, right? We have literally just price staying within this level, and then basically we have price closing at the same basically price that it's opened for the week. We had a move down, we have a move up, and a correction, and kind of we stay the same. So there's a lot of indecision on the dollar, most likely waiting for what the Fed is going to do. And you can see basically what happened as well, even in back in January, those last 2 weeks before actually then the next Fed meeting, a little bit of indecision as well. Like maybe that's something that we are going to start noticing more often, maybe on the dollar, a little bit of a decision before the Fed meetings, and after that maybe a new trend may start. So yeah, let's see. This level, it was good for me. If price wants to go higher from here, I'm okay. I don't really need to see price going a little bit more to the downside. For example, if price had started to move to the upside from here, I'll still eventually consider or be looking or waiting for price eventually to go to this level. That level kind of has been respected so far, so I'm okay. If price by any chance wants to just do this, I'll be totally okay with that. Again, this range kind of needs to be a little bit broken in my view. Yeah, nothing much, really nothing much, for sure, as price is going to be evolving on Monday and Tuesday. In anticipation for the NFP, most likely some ideas are going to appear, and maybe some information, more clues are going to be available to look for that potential setup, either upwards or to the downside. Yeah, that's basically a little bit for the dollar. I don't know if you guys have any buys on the dollar, if you're bullish or bearish. I actually would like to know what are your thoughts on the dollar. Looking in here, there's maybe a little bit of this level in here that goes all the way through. This is basically where price is almost reacted from. Again, there's a little bit of these levels in here that kind of price could eventually go and react from. I don't even know what is this rectangle doing in here. You can remove it. Yeah, so let's see what's going to happen. A little bit more underneath as well. Then you have a little bit of this range as price is maybe continuing to get closer to this level, then going to fake out these lows. Again, if price starts to move to the downside, then I'll be trying to investigate a little bit in more detail exactly what could be the next good level for price to reverse from here. And until where maybe we should be looking for price to go to. Yes, we did manage to break a little bit of these highs, not exactly that level of structure that actually created all these two highs in here. So it's a bit of a question mark in there. Let's see what's going to happen on the dollar. And if by any chance, if you go higher, maybe we can even feel all this compression for now. A little bit in here can be concerned, but then maybe can target a little bit closer to this level in here. So let's see what's going to happen on the dollar. We're looking at the indices, and which is kind of what we look next. We are looking at the S&P, right? S&P, interesting. So it filled the compression that we had in here, kind of broke through the downside. Not even sure if it was this week or last week. It started going to the downside. It made all that move down and kind of reacted a little bit from this next level that was created in here, right? So it reacted from there. Again, we managed, at least on this server, that on this price data that I'm looking at, this price data feed, actually managed to break slightly this high, and that for me kind of was showing a little bit of a bullish indication for the future. Yes, nevertheless, we are still kind of within this level, and I've mentioned so many times I'm even looking for price to get a little bit closer to these highs from in here from last summer, right, from August. At this point, we basically have almost a little bit of a strong level of kind of this double top being created in here. It's not exactly double top because this actually broke a little bit aside, but it's a really nice level of resistance that we are seeing in here. We actually managed to break these lows at the same time, so bigger picture. Maybe price actually can start building up in a nice way. Maybe compress a little bit in here, go higher before maybe making that move to the downside. We'll see if that's going to happen. As you can see in here, and this is just on S&P, not exactly on NASDAQ. I'm still even open to the possibility that price can go a little bit higher towards that level. If it doesn't want to just stop in there, again, you can go a little bit deeper into the lower time frame, try to find out exactly where are still fresh orders within this level, and where maybe should be looking for some kind of reaction on the S&P from there. Even if there's still fresh orders, if there aren't, maybe price actually wants to go a little bit higher. But yes, so now at this point we kind of created a little bit of a double top, not a small one, kind of a big one. This one never really goof anything in here, so a little bit of concern in there, but we kind of managed to take a little bit of twist these lows for the first time. Let's see what kind of approach you're going to have. At this point, yes, maybe expecting new highs. I think that's something to look at. Maybe to be even nice, and maybe something in here can even still hold price a little bit more. As you can see, kind of this high never really reached that level. So maybe a little bit, actually now that you zoom in it a little bit more, you can see that actually price maybe has not even touched that level either. Completely missed it, right? Considering this level in here, completely missed it. So again, this is kind of, as we progress, and there you go. This is actually the zone, right? This is actually the zone, and you go all the way through to the different time frames. You don't really see them, and they carry see exactly to the pip. Right, in the 1 hour time frame or 30 minutes time frame, this is kind of the only separation. Is kind of from where all the way till here. Then price just kind of, these two candles don't really have much information. As you start going down, you can see that actually the decision is kind of go all the way from here to here. So actually we are looking for the base of that decision, and then kind of a little bit more to the extreme, kind of those maybe a little bit of the two areas that you want to look for. There's maybe something in the middle, but at least kind of the both extremes, both edges, it can be really nice for price to react from. Especially again, this one never really reached there. And as you continue to move down, kind of still the same one, and then you go a little bit more deeper, and you actually can see that kind of that separation from here, it actually may start from that level in there, right? That's kind of a little bit of where the last decision is. That's kind of where it starts, and that momentum to move away from this level, and that's kind of beautifully where actually price end up reacting from. Just this was an extra, a tip, just kind of how to look for those levels. Nevertheless, on the 4 hour time frame and maybe 1 hour time frame, kind of the level is maybe still a little bit above that. So this is kind of why then sometimes you have price reacting kind of from the same level, but from the different levels of the zone. And so let's see how price is going to react from here. If it's going to hold it a little bit more, it would be nice if it does. For example, hold it a little bit more, kind of attract even more sales towards this level around 42,000, 4,200, something like that. Or then you can have that big move higher, and then kind of start moving down a little bit, something like that. That could be interesting. There you go. Let's see if that happens. A little bit compressed in here, a little bit of break of this low. Something in there eventually can be a zone to look for. Yep, but this one can be interesting on the S&P. Just a little bit of a reaction, then price switch to take these highs, and then kind of go a little bit closer into there. As you know, NASDAQ has already broken this high at this point, so it's kind of reading a little bit in that aspect, but hasn't really reached that zone above it, which we might go there also next week. So let's see. Take a look at NASDAQ. All right, so NASDAQ, here we are, right? So again, we had that range. We mentioned kind of last week that yes, price has already kind of broken a little bit this one. It could give a little bit of an indication that price want to go down. Nevertheless, this was a valid target initially as well, this fresh demand zone. Price kind of paused in there a little bit. And you mentioned that after price kind of breaks this level, then kind of could go down. Now, at this point, the rectangle that you can see that for me, first of all, it's not even kind of correctly, kind of a little bit higher. But this is kind of one of them, because actually the origin is from here. It's basically from this level, kind of. This was the high that created this low. And this is kind of the zone itself with this previous level of structure, right? So bigger rectangle to be like this, a little bit smaller like this. And if you continue to move into lower time frame, maybe you can even find something even smaller in there that price maybe go and react from in the future, right? But so far, as you can see, kind of this is a little bit of the range that created this last low, and kind of this is kind of a little bit of the zone that kind of decision to break above that next week. IGR, yeah, that's a little bit of the what I'm doing in here to look for next week. If you have any levels that you want to look for, any assets, just feel free to share, and then later on we can take a look into it, and we can have a conversation about it, those levels that you're looking for. So NASDAQ, right, kind of filled a little bit the space between below this low all the way until there. That was kind of just before, I think, Meta's announcement of the earnings. So we saw that pattern happening during this last couple of weeks with the indices, mostly NASDAQ as well, and S&P, kind of around 7 p.m, around the close to the close of the session, to just move to the downside, right? Those are kind of a little bit of anticipation for the earnings that were about to come out. And there you go. That was a little bit of what you're looking for. JR, what trades what assets do you look for? And there you go. So we had that happening. Kind of a little bit in the evening, around 8 p.m. kind of had these sell-offs up happening on NASDAQ, but nevertheless, price was kind of going upwards. It was taking literally every single supply zone from there. So then it was like this movement, it was a little bit kind of expected, regardless of what was the reason, just looking at the way price was moving to the downside with this compression move. And eventually when it turned, there's nothing else to hold price in here, right? Basically everything has been taken. Actually, one of the last supply levels, it was maybe still fresh, it was maybe this one, which actually eventually worked out as a demand in there. Aside from this, kind of this one was been taken. Okay, this one is still fresh a little bit. This one already breaks to the upside. So this one again, maybe in the future a little bit, but it's not as strong. That one was maybe the last one. This everything in here has been taken. In here, kind of we start breaking a little bit. We also break this trend line, so somewhere in here could have been actually the good entry for the long on us. And NASDAQ also detect a really nice sell opportunity in here, especially after the break of this one, kind of opens the door as well for price to start moving to downside. And now we are here, literally at the extreme, and I'm expecting price eventually to go higher. This is something that I've been looking for a while. I don't think exactly that the move to the upside has finished yet, all the way from these lows. I believe price wants to go at least getting closer to this level. We haven't even touched this zone in here, like this, at least some of these lows in here, we didn't even touch that level. Kind of maximum of the maximums, touch the extreme of this. Again, this one, basically that one, it's just a little bit similar exactly of what we just talked about on the S&P, right? In the higher time frame, it looks like that maybe price wants to go a little bit higher, but in reality, kind of zooming in, you can see that there is actually kind of a little bit of the decision point to move away from this level, somewhere in there. That's kind of where price initially reacted from this high. Now we need to start investigating within this level if there's anything in there that you want to look for that can be used as a potential sell opportunity. We do have these left shoulders in here, something to pay attention to as always. In there, can actually kind of extend that to see kind of what is in alignment with that, even if that level has been touched or not. Maybe a little bit in here. This level can be interesting. I'm going to definitely set up an alert in here to look for. What else? We have a little bit of the base of this level. Maybe pay attention to that one. We have these left shoulders in here as well, basically been touched already by this one on the way down. A little bit weaker in there. So we have maybe this level and then maybe a little bit of the extreme to go to, and maybe at the base of this again, somewhere in there. Right, this is kind of where price already reacted. Maybe wants to go higher a little bit than that. Can even start investigating a little bit lower. Is it something in here? Piece of top, you have these left shoulders in there. The base of this, a little bit of this wick in here as well. Yeah, maybe something in there. to look for. My favorite, it will be still above these highs all the way until there. Kind of a little bit of level that I like. Press pause in here, touch a few times, and a little bit in this alignment in here. 13,620, 19, something like that. Maybe cover a little bit. 1 second, let's just do this. Cover a little bit underneath that. Yeah, just something to pay attention to. Of course, this is just one of the parts of it. Then the approach towards that level, what kind of movement are you going to have or not, that plays a big role as well. We have a little bit of a move down in here. On the daily time frame, it even reinforces more the idea that this kind of, it's just a move upwards. Press pause a little bit, kind of finds the next demand zone, even this previous level of support resistance in there, kind of, and now it kind of just as a transition, as a continuation, just going to continue to go higher. Yeah, no break of structure just yet. This is kind of the only one that we have. Yeah, looks like a little bit bullish at this point, NASDAQ. Yeah, you're looking at stocks, right? Yeah, maybe you can just do a quick look at stocks in a bit. Sometimes, yeah, it's funny to watch. The other day I was analyzing Tesla, for example. Yeah, every once in a while it's nice to look at least to see if the way I look at the market, it also kind of works nicely with the stock market, and usually kind of does. Yeah, I can, if you give me the tick, kind of, I can then look at in trading view. I can try to see it. In which time frame? Is more of a higher time frame that you're looking for? Most likely, right? So yes, I'm looking for price to continue to go higher. Checking again, finally, when price eventually gets to these levels in here, how is it going to react? Somewhere in there. At this point, NASDAQ, I don't really see the need of breaking these highs. On S&P, I kind of still, I'm still open to the possibility of breaking that high, just to touch to that level on the left side. Now we are still have a little bit of this range in here to look for and to complete. This is a nice reaction already. As I mentioned several times, most likely after we do break this level, and then most likely we're about to break these highs, most likely you're going to create a little bit of a structure, a little bit of a range in here, some kind, maybe with some kind of demand zone in alignment with the break of this, and that you're going to 100% pay attention to that level, right? Because that can be a little bit of the trigger that tells you if this is kind of as a continuation, or if by any chance actually price is moving higher but actually starts down breaking, and maybe that can be just a false breakout and actually price is ready to move to the downside. Even if it's just to feel again this range in here, that's already kind of a good opportunity to look for, right? But finally, after the beginning of the year, yeah, you kind of have been super bullish on NASDAQ. We are approaching or getting really close to potential final target in here, maybe before resuming the bearish market in here. So this level, kind of this highs in here, a little bit of important, at least for me, to see how the market is going to react around these levels. Otherwise, if you do break above that, again, even if you break above that, maybe have a dip, can have a deep correction, but that for me, I think is going to give me more of a bullish setup or signal to then maybe carry on trying to look for longs after that. So I'm going to pay attention to that level, see how price is going to react from there. Eventually this one in here looks nice as well, above all these highs, reacting from all this level. That's something interesting, but it's just for the future, whatever price may get there, somewhere in there, 14,390. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for on the NASDAQ. Really strong momentum last Thursday, a little bit of a correction. This was kind of after Amazon's earnings report came out, and again moving upwards from here. Yep, I think we are getting close to that level. DAX has been a roller coaster in here. I've missed quite a few, actually sell opportunities in there, and price just continues to move higher as well, right? Kind of still indeed this level. There's maybe the chance, and I think price actually wants to go a little bit higher than that, and they're approaching this double top all the way through. Now price has been reacting somewhere underneath this level. It's like it already had the reaction that most likely it was supposed to, and then we are going to most likely break this this high, getting a little bit maybe close to this level. And I'm actually looking for price to actually get closer in there at this point. Wait. Just a second. Get stuck in here. Okay, got it. Later. Yep, so that's a little bit kind of what I will be looking for on us. Nice reactions. Is there anything else in here that price can still react from after you do break this highs? Maybe there is how this looks compressed to me. Maybe above this high. Maybe there's something again somewhere in here, but eventually I would like to see price going a little bit closer maybe to this extreme. And this extreme is it's a double top, right? And it's basically the all-time hold highs in here, and most likely if you do get as we getting closer and closer and closer to these levels, I think it starts working a little bit as magnetic for price to get really close to those highs, and eventually you are going to even fake out the highs, and maybe after that you have a reversal happening just to take the liquidity from those guys in there. In here, what do you have? We have initially, actually I want to change this. I think I want to put it in here and kind of extend it, and that's going to represent as an engulf down. So yeah, most likely price respected quite a few times this demand zone, basically 1, 2, 3 times, and it finally decided to break it just before we move higher, right? So that for me, I think I'll see it as a potential engulf down. So let price go maybe a little bit higher, take that high that you're looking for just before on the left, and maybe then have a little bit of a correction, and we can maybe aim eventually for price to get closer to this level. Now bigger picture, maybe I'm going to be looking for price eventually to take those highs, but before that there's maybe another move, right? Maybe we're going to continue to move in this kind of compression on DAX, and that may happen like that. So keep looking for opportunities, either long or short. There's enough opportunities for everything in here, to be honest. Again, nice reaction by the end of the evening. So curious to see what's going to happen in here. I'm going to be looking for some kind of compression. I want to see price losing momentum before maybe aiming to another sell, and maybe I'm going to wait actually for price to break above this high as well from here. Yeah, that's basically it for the indices. And there's maybe just Dow moving higher. Interesting enough, it took this low, this kind of a little bit of a nice engulf to the downside on the way up, something that, as I mentioned, I like to see. Nice reaction from this level initially. I think now price may go a little bit higher. We do have kind of these left shoulders in here to look for. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen if price even wants to go a little bit higher than that, right? Kind of we had reacted from that level that we talked about a few months ago. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen around here on the Dow. This price is kind of approaching that level. Yep, just keeping an eye on it. There's maybe still, again, similar to NASDAQ, to S&P, a little bit of a reaction maybe to expect from this extreme. Otherwise, price will just break it, and I'll continue to look for weakness in here as price is moving higher. Yeah, let's say, yeah, we can do it. So all of them are first. Are you looking at the First Republic Bank? Yeah, this is a nightmare, right? What can I tell you about this one? Is this the one that you're looking? The First Republic Bank? Dude, what can you tell me about this, man? It was a nice move up. Nice moving compression, and all of a sudden, there you go. If you want to see if this start breaking the walls in there, strong compression, yeah, that's nothing to tell in here, man. There's absolutely no PI that I can tell you. Just, what is a nightmare. Are you looking forward for expecting a reversal in here? What was the wall before? Yeah, this is crazy, man. Yeah, this is a nightmare. Yeah, what can you tell in here? What can you tell you? There's maybe short opportunity in here. It's full of gaps. That's one of the things that I like the least, or I don't like at all, are all the gaps that stocks have. Yeah, this could have been a good sell. Kind of price may have left something like this in here. Wait. 1 second. Yeah, this could have been a great sell opportunity. Then maybe there's a second chance of looking for something in here. Not sure if price has already reacted. Price just reacted from that level. Yeah, I'll even look a little bit higher than that. On the retest of this, which basically price never really reacted from there. No idea when price is going to get to $20 mark. Yeah, man, this is I cannot make anything predictions in here. This is a nightmare, man. Especially because the moves that we had for the last month or so, it literally destroys all the scale that you can have in here, which really destroys everything. Like as soon as I check, as soon as that drop happened, it definitely destroys the scale of this. Yeah, if it goes back to 200, maybe that's a great sell in there. Whenever that goes, retesting this level in here. Yeah, no idea, man. Something in there. Don't know if there was a reaction from there when it broke. Yeah, kind of broke, retested a little bit. We have this level just above it. Is that the zone that just broke the walls? We're looking at in here. Yeah, in here, right? After he broke this wall, maybe we could have tried to continue to look for a sell. It's crazy. Ah, the walls, really? Yeah, if that's kind of what you want, kind of try to trade from 3 to 6, 3 to 5, yeah, maybe. And have 100% moves in there. Yeah, that's more intraday stuff. At this point, he's respecting this level. Yeah, that's a nightmare. Yeah, maybe eventually targeting the $6 mark. There's this level still in here that kind of needs to be broken first. Now, at this point, price is maybe trading within this range, right? This $4 and this $3 kind of is trading between this $1 mark. That's kind of where it was. Finishing the session yesterday. Yep. Otherwise, what am I doing? Yes. Yeah, otherwise kind of key levels to look for. I'll be looking maybe for price eventually to fill this. Definitely this level in here is important. And yeah, we do kind of have still kind of these lows. No idea what's going on above that. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Now I cannot even mention anything in here because I have no idea what's on the left and I need something on the left. Like I have no idea what is this wall reacting from, so without that information there's no chance for me to even make predictions. Oh, GMK. I hope this one is a little bit more. There's more things to look at. Okay, just add this cap. Is there any more historical data than this or not? This is what we have. It's great in 2014. Yeah, I mean, without anything on the left, it's hard to even look at it. I cannot make anything. I have no idea what the wall is reacting from. Why am I lagging so much? What happened here? March, February. That's a big gap. Why I don't have that information here? I don't understand. Why do I have these lows in here? As soon as I change for 4-hour time frame, these lows. Why don't I have this date in here? I don't understand what's going on here. This $2 mark. This one is $3 as well. Was there any buyback in here? What happened? Profit split? Profit split, what the heck? Yeah, maybe buyback. Some stocks? Don't know. Hey Jack, how are you? Yeah man. Now give me something that I can work with. Cannot work with it. Like give me Tesla. It's much better. Give me something that I have. Like I need something on the left side even to look at stocks, right? Tesla, again, the sell in here on Tesla, it was really nice. The long in here was really nice. Taking that level, didn't really open space in here. So maybe just going to fill this range, going back to 137. I kind of feel this range in here. The sell from there is beautiful. Beautiful level to look for a sell. And then you have the continuation here with the break of this. And continue to look for more sells in there. And then of course we have the earnings, the big gap occurring. But yeah, that's something different. Even Netflix can give me something different in here to work with. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, nothing much to look for. Yeah, looking at stocks. Go back to go back to my normal routine. Yeah, just looking at. Yeah, if you believe that First Republic is going to kind of survive this storm, the earnings were kind of crazy, right? Especially when they need to kind of correct a lot of their balance sheet, whatever. Let's go back to Euro Index, guys. Euro Index, here we go. So continuation to the upside. As you remember, kind of this was a little bit of the zone that we had, then price expecting price to go higher. And this next level was where I was looking for a potential reaction. Price kind of reacted from there, kind of moved down, still kind of within the same range. It's a lot of compression in here on the euro, and we are looking forward to actually this week because historically for the last few ECB meetings we have euro creating kind of a top for a moment. Again, you can go back and check when was the last time that you had ECB meetings and how did the euro reacted to it. And since this is Euro Index, something that you can pay attention to. Again, how this move on Euro Index is not exactly because we are looking at the euro dollar in particular as a bullish move. Is more actually the other euro pairs that you are looking for that have helped this kind of move to occur. For example, Euro Aussie, Euro CAD. And until Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, we had Euro Pound just dropped yesterday finally. Yeah, other Euro Yen helped a lot, right, with this big move to the upside. So yeah, that's kind of where we are now. Looking at the Euro Yen, Euro Index, sorry, what are you looking for, right? So just literally feel this compression all the way until here. We are kind of reacting now from this level. maybe as a whole, eventually expecting price maybe to go a little bit higher. Again, I don't really know where this will reacted from on the left side. Don't really have any more historical data aside from February 20, just before COVID. So yeah, are we looking this level in here kind of is a little bit, can be interesting to see how price reacts from there. Kind of a little bit of that level. It's kind of taken. This level in here basically has been taken as well. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen around here. So we just took this highs, just took this level of structure. This one looks too obvious to me. Yeah, it starts from here. That's why kind of you should always start from the top and then to the bottom, not the other way around. I'm starting from the bottom now. Makes it weird. Actually, let's look at the weekly. Do I have any data on the weekly? Nope. Monthly? Nope. No idea why. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. This one in here kind of was taken and reacted from. Is there anything in here on the lower time frame that you can kind of look for? Somewhere in there, with a little bit of this highs reacting from here. Otherwise, kind of as price is moving upwards. Now kind of I like a little bit more this level in here. So maybe price kind of still maybe I've left that level in there. This highs kind of touch that one. This is kind of too obvious. Okay, I'm going to just leave a line in there around this level. Of a clear supply level that price kind of dropped and went all the way to. It's very too obvious, to be honest. But maybe that's kind of the end of this compression move that you have until price kind of goes to the next level in there. Kind of has a little bit of reactions before, or maybe not exactly my favorite though. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a reaction. Maybe price wants to feel all this compression, continue to go higher on the euro before maybe a turn. Yeah, maybe that's can happen in there. Otherwise, just go retest this level in there. Let's see. It's literally kind of compressing a lot, moving in a lot of compression. Even managed to break again this low in here. Let's see what the euro is going to do, to be honest. Maybe just waiting to see finally the euro dollar literally moving to the downside. Yeah, and retesting one more time that high. Yep. What will be the target? Maybe eventually even just to feel all this again. And B, if you start moving even a little bit lower, you can maybe even aim to that level altogether. Yeah, just something to play. Keep following it. I still don't really know exactly maybe where the euro wants to go to, or towards to, at least the euro index. Let's keep an eye on them. And this one, right? Big sell-off. Initially, you had a little bit of a reaction from this zone of demand. Price kind of navigated a little bit between this level. But yes, this maybe was the last extreme of this level. If we had managed to break above this level, maybe we would have opened a little bit more room to the upside. There you go. Kind of price managed to stay within that level, and price now just moved to the downside, right? Last Friday. What am I doing? Go away. Yeah, price just moved after yesterday's monetary policy meeting in Japan. So compression to the downside. I think price wants to go a little bit lower. We just took this low. We are reacting from the extreme of this demand zone, but I think price most likely wants to move lower. Interesting. Now, what will be the new level to go to? The price is reacting somewhere from the extreme of this level. This one, I think it has already taken lows in there, so it makes it a little bit weaker in that sense. Maybe a little bit of reaction from here, but price wants to go just a little bit lower in here. Price may haven't touched it, so can go a little bit lower in there, and as price continues to move down, maybe this can be my favorite level of all of them. All the way in here, I think that can be my favorite. Kind of after taking everything in here, just go towards that level. There's still this demand zone, so this could be actually nice for price to react from, create kind of a double bottom all the way there on the left side, on the right side, sorry. And after that, after making look like this low is super bullish, then price could go down and take this double low and go to the other level. So kind of whatever price may react from this level, make it look like it's working, create a proper bullish momentum from here, and then kind of go one more time just to make that final move and go higher. All right, so we use this one. Hopefully it's respected first, so maybe there's even opportunities to look for a long from there, of course, depending on how price is approaching that level. But then hopefully take some kind of highs in here. Right, because price maybe is moving down, kind of creates a little bit of a high, goes, takes that high, gives the sign that it wants to go higher, but then one more time just moves down, takes that level, and now is ready to have a deeper retracement from here. I think that will be interesting. Yep, that's a nice level in there. A little bit in here. I don't really like anything in particular. Somewhere in here, maybe a little bit in here, maybe. Yeah. So let's see what the end is going to do. I think as a target, maybe at least this level eventually reach from, even if you just kind of retrace, maybe go there, kind of go continue, or even retest to that level one more time. Yeah, we do have this important level, can be used a little bit in the future. Maybe we can create a little bit of a structure in here for then to be used again and continue. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of where we are in there. Yeah, this one literally strong demand to the upside. Price never managed to retrace back there, which is just paused in here, reacting from this previous level of support resistance and moved higher after that. This is a really long-term view for this yen index, right? So far from something that may just happen next week, or it's maybe for the next couple of months. Intraday level, you're going to be looking zone by zone. Zone by zone. I think it's more than enough to try to look for it. Zone by zone. Actually, now that I'm zooming into here, it's maybe something interesting in there. Yeah, it's maybe something interesting in there. That's maybe already touched in here. Maybe that level. Yeah, maybe that was already taken by that one. Yeah, let's see. Multiverse. Looks ready to reverse soon. Did you take many trades last week? Yeah, GPU looks like it will go lower. No reason to expect that to stop. Yeah, I agree. No, it was more of like actually missing trades than anything else. Just a few trades here and there, but more even at the end of the sessions. I'm transitioning a little bit on the type of opportunities that I'm looking for. That's why I'm kind of expanding a little bit more portfolio that I'm looking for in terms of trades. I'm trying to detach myself from trying to look for perfect entries and try to be more okay with the less perfect or kind of so tight stop losses, whatever, because I'm trying to catch more of a bigger move and being okay with it, letting that price just move away. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to not want the perfect, not kind of trying to wait for that perfect entry. Then price just moves away without me. Something that I'm working on. But yes, I'm trying to look for more higher time frame moves, not just setups, but actually opportunities in there. A little bit in alignment with the webinar that we did about those 4 phases. Particularly like looking for trades on phase kind of 1, 2, and being aware of where the phase 3 is, so then I can catch the phase 4, which is basically the same as phase 1. Yeah, so this is kind of yen index. Let's see what's going to happen. Even the retest of this level can then continue to move down. Yep. And that's basically it for these guys. Euro, what we have, right? So we managed to break the high. That was, yeah, that was this Thursday, this Wednesday. So yes, we managed to break the high. That one for me, it's a little bit of an engulf down. This one for me is another engulf down. But I mentioned also that when you did manage to break this low, kind of for me, kind of space goes towards that level. But as soon as I start noticing that prices starts to respect all the demand zones along the way, starts to be the tendency that most likely you actually manage to eventually break this high instead of price just dropping from here. Yeah, I don't when I see a proper engulf down, I don't really want to see the demand that created that engulf down to be respected, much less all the next demand zones. Gives a little bit of strength. Either leave them behind, don't even touch them, so kind of open, or kind of leaves a little bit of room for price to then go back down in there and kind of work as magnetic for price to eventually touch there, or break again this low and then go higher, something like that, right? I don't want to see them being respected as they were. That gives a little bit more strength than actually I want to see. Nevertheless, the engulf now is still in here. Eventually, and especially because of this another break, it was interesting yesterday, just before the news, price kind of respected one time with this spike in here, went upwards, they took the orders from this supply level that was still in there, and then it broke the low, which in my opinion there will be no need to break this low if you don't really want to go further down. Otherwise, don't break the low, just respect the low and go higher. Another good sign in here is this may be enough liquidity already, right? And this is kind of where the difference is between the dollar index and the euro, because the euro on the 25th of April, Tuesday, when it had this strong move in here, it reacted all the way already from this level, right? And the dollar index, when it made that move, it paused in here. So it left this level fresh. That level was then respected on the 26th, somewhere in there, and the euro now on the 26th, it broke that high, and it went all the way towards a little bit more to the left. Now, if you actually ask me in the bigger picture, I'm actually still looking for the euro to go a little bit higher. There's more zones in there that I'm looking for. We kind of have all these left shoulders in there, and then kind of have a little bit of the extreme in here, which really was not touched yet by any of these lows. So that's still fresh in there. It's kind of a little bit bigger picture if you're about to ask me, a little bit of what I'm looking for on the euro. Okay, whatever. So that's kind of a little bit of what I'm looking for on the euro, bigger picture. However, world time frame, I think we are having this engulf down. I think there's a chance that we can go lower. This one's still a good level. There's still the chance to, of course, to retest this level in here. We have all this level in here, this high. This was again a mid-range move that occurred on the 27th on Thursday. Price literally went to this level. You want to try to find out these ranges. Again, we want to find out these ranges on price. They kind of work quite nicely. And what did you have even before this news? We had this. Right, we have price breaking the lows just before kind of the spike towards the level in there and move down. This is kind of what we'll categorize it as move number 2, and number 1 or 4 kind of it's this level in here. Again, this is something that I'm trying to work on because I like to trade these levels. I struggle to catch these moves in here. I want to be able to catch those opportunities as well, just because I like to trade extremes, for example. It's one of the reasons. So yes, price respected that level quite nicely, even after this move upwards. This for me is an engulf down, so I'm going to be positioning myself in that sense. Even if price kind of course, I would love it to approach a little bit more close to these highs to find that best opportunity, to look for that move down, and eventually to fill all this range. Now, yes, maybe price is still kind of trading within that level of this demand zone. Nevertheless, it's already kind of the second time that you managed to break these lows. Right, you managed to break in here, managed to break in there. It's kind of what looking for me, that's in goof down. Yeah, less time consuming. That's a little bit of what I'm trying to do. Because yeah, as you guys know, kind of always in between mentorings and sessions and whatnot, I kind of start trading a little bit less than I wanted to in the first quarter of the year. And then I need to adjust a little bit. That's why I even looking a little bit at other pairs, but higher time frame setups, kind of trying to see price being super extended for a couple of days, 3 days, easy setups to identify, then kind of just wait for that fake out move. But during that fake out move, not trying to be so perfect on the entry. Yeah. CAD, for example, yesterday was a good example of that. So yes, eventually I would like to see euro going down. This level can still be okay or somewhere in there, and to fill all this range, and then kind of try to aim towards that level. And this is where the difference is a little bit with the pound dollar, right? Because the pound, as you're going to see in a bit, when it kind of broke this level, it went all the way back to retest these lows from the 10th of April. Euro left this space behind. Right, that again, this kind of goes a little bit with correlations and stuff like that. Of course, the euro and the pound, they don't need to do the same, but in this case, kind of the level itself was the same. This structure was the same, this wall was the same, this break was the same, just what happened afterwards, it was not the same. Euro pausing here, pound kind of created another 2 lows until it reached this level. So while on the euro, I'm still looking for price eventually to fill this space. On the pound, that space was filled immediately, and this, as it happens, and then kind of price keeps respecting it. The behavior then on the pound was quite similar to the euro, respecting the lows, the demand zones. And then of course, eventually I'm expecting price to literally break new highs as well, just like it happened on the pound in here, right? Where are we? There you go, right? So this is what I mentioned. This level in here on the 10th of April, price broke that low. It went a little bit high, started even breaking highs, and then again another leg and an extra leg in there. So we fill the space. This one, it's done. Target reached, completed. Euro kind of respected this demand zone and start going higher after that without never respecting or going all the way to that level. And then we start respecting the next demand zones as we keep moving to the upside. This is maybe one of those that maybe still hasn't really maybe reached there. And aside from just respecting the demand zones, we kind of actually breaking new highs. And there you go. We just literally broke to the upside on the pound. Something that actually, to be honest, I was still looking forward to, because in my opinion, I'm not even a big fan of, let me actually identify where that is. I'm not even a big fan of where price kind of was reacting from. Yes, it was a good level, but bigger picture, I'm actually looking for price to go even higher than that, even to take these highs. Price kind of pauses in here at this point. I'm looking for price to even take these highs and maybe even getting closer to that level, if not even taking eventually out this structure in here. But yeah, to take these highs, at least for now, I think that's something to look for. Yeah, and then we'll see. Yeah, and then you'll see what's going to happen. Again, we need to go back. We need to try to see what the heck is going on in here. A lot of compression already on the way down. Is this level still fresh? Maybe not. We have this double top already in here, which this supply was left behind. So that's kind of even on the 30 minutes, 15 minutes as well. That's a great level, which I will 100% try. What have I done? Try to look for future reaction from there, and even just maybe just draw it like this, whatever. Something to pay attention to. Where did that line went to? This one. Yeah, that's kind of the left shoulders in here. And have you reacted from this little zone? That's something to pay attention to as well. Have you reacted from here? Yes or no? Right? Where are we? Just take a look into it, because that can be interesting as well in the future. Maybe if we do take that high all the way through, maybe we can go here. I don't even like this, well, I don't even know why I have it. Maybe it's quite interesting actually. It looks extreme. Yeah, maybe this one is kind of my favorite at this point. Reacted from the base of it. Did it react already? Did it touch it? If not, we got really close. If not, you got really close in there. Yeah, this one is here. And then kind of goes, creates down, and this high never got there. Leaving it. Now I went to this low. Yeah, that's a good one. Can I go to 1 minute? Perfect. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. At the break of that. Out of compression. This one. Yeah, so that's all the way through, like on the pound. Yeah, just trying to look for the levels in there. Yeah, this zone in here can be interesting. Price is reacting somewhere from there. On this time frame, when we are on 4 hour, 1 hour, I think it's the same. All this looks a lot that has been spiked. It's almost likely tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Monday when we start the day. Again, it's going to be bank holiday in many European countries. Nevertheless, we may just resume the move to the upside, right? Usually when you have such a strong momentum on Friday, kind of Monday tends to be a little bit continuation in that direction until maybe starts losing a little bit of momentum. We'll see what's going to happen. We just broke this level. Can be interesting to see how price is going to behave from there. We have this left shoulder as well in there, this level. Okay, this was one of the last supply zones. Price actually kind of reacted from there. Yeah, maybe something in here. We'll look for a potential continuation, maybe on the, yeah, maybe below this low, somewhere in there. On the pound, yeah, and eventually kind of fill this range. This is the high that want to be break, kind of 16 pips, 17 pips. It's nothing much. That's maybe for Monday going to happen. Yeah, why not? Continuation to the upside. And on the other side, we have finally this euro pound, right? Euro pound, which was a short opportunity that many of us were looking for. 1 second. Do you always expect a sharp reaction from your trades at the extremes? Yeah, I actually like to look for the consolidation and then the sharp reaction. Like, it's not that often that price is not going to have a sharp reaction. Maybe, for example, if you are looking at 4 hour time frame, it may look like that price did this and kind of we had a little bit of a range in there. But then maybe on the 5 minutes or 15 minutes time frame, maybe in the moment that we're actually creating the high, maybe that's not exactly a sharp reaction in there. Maybe actually price kind of just goes like this slowly until kind of moves down. I'm not the biggest fan when price kind of moves slowly like this, because I'm kind of now looking for that strong move up and kind of that final fake out kind of before the move down. So I struggle a little bit with this, and that's kind of what happened a little bit with the CAD, as we've seen a bit. But then if you zoom out and then you kind of look for the move after it happened, on the higher time frame, it kind of looks like a sharp move upwards down after, especially a range like this. Like, yeah, that's kind of a little bit maybe how it looks like. I still like to look in the lower time frame at that a little bit of a strong move up. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes kind of goes just kind of in a circle like this. Yeah, euro pound, right? And Martin, good job on catching it. I didn't trade this level. I was looking for trade that one. I didn't trade this one because I don't like triple tops, and in this case it was a triple top, so I didn't like it anymore. Even though kind of price actually still reacted from one of the extreme levels and fresh levels that was in there. Yeah, I don't like triple tops. I didn't trade it. Then I was waiting for another fake before the move down, even though again we had this break of a low, something that we were looking for, at least the target in here. And yes, and then if you start zooming out, you see that basically everything has been compressed. This was one of the last demands that was still fresh. Price kind of still reacted from there initially, and previous level support resistance, and we have the move down because everything else has been taken. This one is already broken this low, and that's when kind of we start just looking, and there's literally nothing else stopping price from going down in here. And this kind of the work that you can do to try to identify those higher time frame trades, something that you're looking for as well. It was exactly, again, the break of this structure. Initially price kind of hold it a few times, but we're actually looking for the fake out of these highs in here. Now, did price reacted from a good level on the left side? To be honest, not my favorite. I actually had a little bit the zone higher, and that's kind of where maybe it tricked me a little bit, because knowing that price was still kind of where am I? Yeah, knowing that I was looking for price a little bit to this supply level, and price had just pausing here. That's why I kind of start waiting for price to go make that final fake out of that double top that I just created. I'm not exactly looking for this triple zone in here. I was expecting now this high to kind of make that final move and the drop to happen after that. From compression again on the approach, so that was good. There you go. Missed opportunity in here for me. Martin, I know that he got it. Good job. Yes, normal target for this level, right? Because as you start seeing it, reaction in here, but aside from that, price has already broken a few structure. So even if price reacts from here, there's a few barriers that can hold price to the downside, right? It can work as resistance at this point and push price down. And that's kind of what happened. Not the compression all the way through. This level in here has been spiked all the way through as well, and that kind of this is the next demand zone that you are looking for basically as target. So from here maybe we are going to have a little bit of a reaction to the upside, something to look for, and if that happens, maybe we have pound finally starting to move a little bit down in here. Let's start seeing out this compression as price is moving down, so you may be close. For example, Monday from somewhere around this level, we may have euro pound reacting a little bit. There's maybe even the extreme in here that price eventually can even take these lows, but maybe after such a strong move to the downside, maybe we are due a reaction a little bit from here, and looking maybe for some kind of opportunity. What target can we look for? Of course, maybe previous level support resistance. That's interesting. Any level that should have, any level of the demand zone that should have held price to the downside, to the upside, and it didn't. That kind of another good target. And then just pay attention to the compression zone as price is moving down as well, right? Like how this has been compressed a lot. Now we have a little bit of a range in here. Like as soon as we kind of start breaking a little bit above this range, maybe we can look for price to aim, maybe to feel at least this compression, maybe getting closer somewhere in here. If not, then price can continue to go higher. We will see, right? Even maybe feel the space between now the gap in here towards there. What is that for? Somewhere in there. Yeah, so paying attention. Maybe this one in here on euro pound can be a good potential opportunity for Monday for a long. Now, doesn't really mean that's going to retest these highs. That's not what I'm looking for at this point. I need way more information before that. I want to see some bullishness, as I mentioned. I want to see some kind of bullishness in here before maybe price making that move to the other side. Right, same way that you start noticing a little bit of a bearish scenario in here just before the final move. Yeah, that's for the euro pound. Nice move. What we have Aussie. There you go. Aussie. Last week, there you go. About Trader FX. I was about to talk about you. Aussie, right? We talk about the Aussie that you were long, and I mentioned that actually my bias was a little bit more to the downside. Because these walls are already broken in here. This music is weird. So yeah, here we go, right? Aussie finally filling that space, going all the way through the walls. It initially respected a little bit in here. I didn't really like that level. I was almost tempted to look for longs yesterday, just before the news. Didn't really like exactly anything. I was a little bit tempted to look for longs, but yeah, didn't like anything during the PC news. The break of this one can look a little bit as a bullish scenario. Price is still respecting the lows, which, what can I say about it? Okay, daily candle, maybe it was still cleaning there. Maybe retesting a little bit as well. I don't really like the lows, to be honest. Price is just respecting them, kind of hold it. I'm not a big fan of the lows. Let's see how price reacts from here. If price breaks to the upside or not. Maybe depending on how price kind of is going to approach this level, maybe there's another sell opportunity in here. Again, we respect the lows. I'm kind of forcing the lows to be broken, which is not exactly the best thing to do. Of course, I mean, kind of my bias wants me to see the lows being broken. At this point, in terms of looking for sales, the space has been literally filled, right? We cannot really force the lows to be broken. There was space as long as kind of price was still kind of somewhere in here, but eventually when price now gets in here, those sell opportunities kind of, the odds changes in that scenario. Yeah, let's see. This level in here can still be interesting, and somewhere in there. And then let's see if you do break those. Yeah, I would definitely like, for example, to see the lows being broken, giving indication that wants to go down, kind of then retracing a little bit, then maybe even retest that level, or if price hasn't really reacted from here yet, to go there, to now maybe take this highs, whatever structure is created in there, and then kind of resume the move to the downside. It's kind of a little bit of what I would have preferred to see in that sense. And let's see, maybe this was actually want to hold. I'm not really sure. On the daily time frame, it's quite nice. We like that reaction that we had 2 weeks ago on the 14th of April. It was beautiful towards this daily candle. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Next, we have EURUSD. Like EURUSD, similar to Euro CAD, for example, it was super bullish, and we went all the way to respect this high from 2020, October 2020. Now, is this high going to hold price? Is actually price going to hold from here? That's the question. Or should we kind of expect price eventually to go a little bit higher? I'm reacting from this left shoulder. Yeah, we're reacting from this one actually. Are we? Yep, beautifully. Was not aware of that. Beautifully. Fantastic. There you go. Just reacted from. Perfect. So we reacted from that level. This is a strong compression. Price kind of a little bit moved a little bit to downside. I'm curious to see how price eventually is going to react from this level. This was kind of a good opportunity to look for a short within this level. Eventually we can even go a little bit higher, right? And this is again, these ranges kind of how important they are. There you go. In this case, kind of Jack, as you mentioned, kind of range, spike up, go down, a bit like the Euro did, and then these ranges are kind of important. They are really look really nice to look for trading opportunities after we make that move. Really interesting, and then at the base as well, somewhere in there, right? Initially kind of even respect this level, but now if the supply level fresh, that's kind of where price goes to, and eventually expecting price to go a little bit more to the downside, and we have kind of this level in here to look for. So that's kind of what looking for. Eventually we can even go a little bit higher, a little bit closer to that level, but for now the Aussie reacting, Euro Aussie reacting like that. We do have kind of this previous level of support resistance somewhere in here, so it's going to be interesting to see eventually if price does break below this level, maybe a little bit more room to the downside, then towards that level and even feel all this compression and start aiming towards this level. So for now, separate the zones like this, and then maybe all this compression in here, attention to this previous level support resistance in the middle, and then the final extreme in there, right? So let's see if this wants to be the high. The price wants to move a little bit further down. Actually, something interesting to look for. Exactly, try to see where it is coming from. So the high of this one goes all the way to the low of this one. So that's maybe the range that wants to work with. That one kind of a little bit already reacted from. So now this is kind of the level to look for in there. Second, what I was looking for. This one, 158. 158, kind of reacted from there. And here it reacts from there. Yeah, interesting. Let's see. Let's see what's going to happen in here on the Euro Aussie. Yep. Interesting. Strong bullish move. I didn't pay attention to that left shoulder, to be honest. Yeah, and then what else? The end pairs, right? Skyrocketing, moving to the upside. So something that we mentioned a few times. Yes, this high kind of paused a little bit in the middle. I was looking for price to go higher, not just pausing here. Start moving down. This was a nice engulf. Price retested that level. It kind of filled a little bit the space in here. It may feel like it paused a little bit in the middle. We had this demand zone in here. That kind of where price reacted from. Price could have maybe gone a little bit lower, just stay there, and then start turning. Right, we even managed to break the highs even before it moved down. Respect demand, and we just moved to the upside. What next for the end pairs, right? I don't even know why do I have this one here. I think I eventually I would like to see this high being taken and price getting a little bit closer to this level. It's kind of a little bit more of what I'm looking for. In here, there's maybe something in there that price could use, but eventually I would like to see price going higher, even though this level. Okay, because this level actually managed to break out this. Okay, maybe something in there. Okay, so now kind of understand a little bit more why do I have that one in there. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of this size. Yeah, let's see if the end index just wants to continue to go down. Most likely this one just wants to continue to go higher. Maybe as a continuation setup, something in here could happen. We could take these lows, eventually let's create another leg up, and eventually kind of resume to move a little bit down, take this one and kind of resume upwards, break out this one, get into this demand zone, and just continue to move to the upside. Yeah, that could be one scenario to look for. So yeah, just keep an eye on whatever the end wants to do now. I want to start seeing them losing a little bit of momentum, maybe create a little bit of a compression zone in here, maybe before a turn. Is this high expected to hold? This high reacted nicely from this level, so yeah, until kind of that one is broken, we'll see. But curious to see eventually at the extremes what may happen in there, and what's going to happen actually after we take this high. The end pairs, the end pairs has been the Euro Yen, super bullish. Yeah, there was initially tendency. Yeah, never really managed to break this low. We broke this low, The price eventually just continued to move higher. Before that, we had managed to break this high as well. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit what you're looking for. And now we just took even the highs from 2013, and we are trading all the way back from 2008, right? That's a little bit now. It's going to be a challenge to try to find out the levels in here. I cannot really go lower than the daily time frame, so it's going to be a challenge to find opportunities or to try to find out where can we expect price to react from. We may have a little bit of zone support resistance in here. Aside from that, yeah, not the easiest thing to do. Yeah, back to 2008 in here levels on the euro yen. There you go, kind of price pausing a little bit in here. Again, previous level support resistance. Let's see. I need to see some weakness now on these yen pairs. Yeah, I need to see some weakness, and after that we can maybe try to predict some stuff. Pound yen. Again, another one moving higher. Initially looking a little bit for price to go above this highs. Price just literally broke above that level. This one still, maybe there's something here at the top that we can try to aim and look for. Actually, 1 second, because there's something interesting on euro yen. Yeah, we're looking at this picture. 1 second. Yeah, yesterday we were looking at this picture. Right. Yeah, this is a little bit what we were looking for. It was even before price broke the highs. And that's basically what you're looking in here. Like higher time frame, and this is the monthly time frame. On this yen pair, whichever price respected is the month zone. Right, kind of reached its target all the way from the lows. It reacted from the demand zone. Everything, the information that we have at this point, we don't really know what price is reacting in here on the left side. We can go all the way back to 1994, but you do have this left shoulder in here, so that can kind of attract a little bit. This level of the price in here reacted beautifully to this monthly level in here, and that kind of, we had this big move down. You can even see the type of movement that we had before, price starting to look bearish because it was breaking new lows as it was moving down, but then kind of last spike upwards, reverse, and kind of now leaves a little bit of these next left shoulders in here, right? Then we go, we never really kind of reached the last demand zone in here, but we pause at this level of support resistance in here, right? So you can look at those two levels, either one all the way through in the bigger picture, and then kind of other one maybe a little bit like that. And then price starts to respect. Price to respects kind of this demand zone, keeps going higher, respects, starts compressing, and most likely key levels to look for, maybe do test of this level, and eventually looking for price to get closer a little bit in here. Now this is monthly time frame, right? So bear in mind in that sense. Of course, there's going to be opportunities on the intraday, on a weekly basis as well, to look for. But for now, yes, the tendency, I believe, this euro yen is going to continue to move higher, maybe aiming towards to go to that level, or maybe at least to feel this full candle, this monthly candle going towards to there. It's kind of a little bit of a higher time frame view. Now we go a little bit into the lower time frame. We can see that there is this range in here that broke the structure, so something that can be interesting. Otherwise, that level in there on the daily, on the monthly that you're looking for, can be also interesting. Yep, and then you continue to move more as you go through. And there you go. That's really higher time frame view on the euro yen for you guys. Pound yen. What do we have? Pound yen. Yeah, bigger picture, kind of just do the same exercise. Kind of pausing here. Maybe actually price wants to go a little bit higher It's a bit messy with so many lines in here. But yeah, first of all, maybe paying attention a little bit in here if there's anything. Then start looking left to see what's above this level, and you can continue to do that as you see fit. Price is compressing in here, so let's see, maybe another continuation to the upside. That's the tendency when you have such a strong momentum until final price maybe starts showing a little bit of weakness, and maybe we can have a little bit of a correction in here. Next, on previous level of support resistance that we had, for sure it will be around these highs. Maybe you can actually maybe overcorrect all this move in here. Right, maybe we can go a little bit closer to this level eventually when you do turn. Aussie yen, it's another one kind of looking for. Price reached the bottom of this level, daily time frame. I was expecting actually price to break it a little bit lower, but it never broke it, respected lows, and start showing bullishness. Interesting to see how price is going to react somewhere from here. That's kind of first level to look for after kind of this pause in here. So somewhere in there at the extreme is going to be interesting. Price reacted really nicely from this level, and then if price by any chance wants to continue to go higher, and it can, then you're going to be looking for price to go a little bit closer maybe to this and to this next zone in here, to this next range in here. But for now, I think there's maybe still opportunities. Maybe look for something in here. It's going to need at least the Aussie to continue to be bearish and to break the lows, or the end kind of slow down a little bit. Otherwise, maybe the Aussie end is going to continue to go higher. CAD, there you go, right? CAD is this one that we had this range, kind of level 3 level, managed to break these lows the day before, and then we had this big rally on the 28th all the way through the morning. It has been bullish for many days in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something that we looked at. Then we actually had a bearish day, but then we had that final spike above it, and we are reacting from a good level in here on the daily time frame, right? A little bit of this week. We had also this previous level of these left shoulders. Again, a good target maybe to be even to check where kind of that candle is go to, which is exactly in here. So maybe one of those first targets of this sell move, of this move, may have occurred, and this is how kind of price reversed in here, kind of, right? Yeah, in reality actually we still had a little bit, and then price kind of starts moving down like this. This could have been the best entry. Yeah, after the break of this could have been the best entry. Then you even have kind of price breaking below the lows, kind of retesting that level again. So yeah, that could have been the best entry to then eventually catch this move down. Yeah, again, after we break this level, usually there's a little bit of a range created in here. If you do break below that level, kind of opens the door for price to go a little bit more to the downside. Yeah, again, kind of compressed, and then the turn. But looking at the higher time frame, definitely looks like there's a big move up down after spending the last couple of days within this range. What's next for the CAD? I'm looking in here. Let's see how price kind of holds it. Maybe going a little bit lower, maybe targeting a little bit more to the downside. Can be a potential possibility in here, even if price maybe looks towards this level. Can be interesting as well. Or maybe that one's already taken in there. Yeah, let's see how price is going to behave somewhere in here. There's maybe something in there as well. On the CAD, and if we kind of retest a little bit, maybe somewhere in there can be a possibility. Hey Matum, new faces in here today. Welcome guys. Again, if you do have any levels that you are looking for, just let me know, man. It's going to go overview a little bit. I'm getting a little bit tired already. And don't forget to subscribe again. Try to help the channel to grow. I would appreciate that. Dollar franc Swiss. dollar franc Swiss. This is a beauty, and I believe that we end up respecting this level in here on the daily time frame. I'm bullish. I'm bullish on dollar franc Swiss at this point. We made all this move to downside. We managed to take these lows. The level that we reacted from the other day, it was perfect. It was literally kind of this demand zone, just below all those lows. It started to be a really interesting zone. Extreme, 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 then eventually that level. But I think we already are in a really good level. We had this double bottom in here. Price in here went all the way up. It didn't really reach the next level, neither this level in here. It actually managed to break this level in here. I've seen it a little bit as an engulf to the upside. This one in here, yeah, it was a good timing for an entry. I was wishing price to kind of now, yesterday, to get closer to this level again, to look for another potential opportunity to look for a long in there. On the daily time frame, okay, price just kind of reacted from here. I was looking for price to get a little bit closer to that zone. Hopefully still goes there. If by any chance price gets anywhere near close to these lows, I will try to attempt for a long. First target for this move upwards. For now, kind of good reaction here, but I would like to see actually price getting closer to that level. If not, we actually have a little bit more of a move higher. Of course, if the dollar by any chance is about to go higher as well, this is going to help our franc Swiss to follow as well, to go through and to the upside. Again, maybe first level somewhere in here. So I will be definitely looking for that potential opportunity this week on our franc Swiss. Kind of something that I'll be looking for in there. Yeah, I'll definitely look for that. It's your brother. Great, man. Both of you into trading, huh? That's good. That's a good partnership. That's a good partnership. Fantastic. Aiden. Calimera. Or Calispera. Yeah. What can I look for now? Gold. Gold just stays within the same thing. Gold in a range. Maybe waiting for the dollar as well to see what the heck dollar is going to do. We are literally in this level. Personally, I would like to see gold going a little bit further down before maybe going higher. If you do break below this level, kind of may open space a little bit more to the downside, then we can maybe go higher. Yeah, two levels that I'm going to be looking for. I'm not really sure if I'm looking for anything in here anymore, but somewhere around that level or somewhere in here on gold. It's kind of what I'm going to be looking for. Price seems to go down, kind of gets rejected, goes higher. Well, let's see which direction. This supply in here was still valid, good, left shoulders, fantastic. Yeah, I'm waiting for gold to get away from this level. Is it going to go to the downside or is it going to go upwards? We'll see. Again, key levels that I'm looking for first and foremost on gold is somewhere in alignment with this level, and if price wants to go higher, in here. Something to look for example, if price goes here first and it respects and it's go higher, I'll be definitely cautious on looking for sales in here, because in that sense, price would have reached its target. Basically, the target for me from this move down, it will be here. So if that happens, I'll be cautious a little bit with sales in here, maybe another high on gold. If price just decides to go higher from here, since this target kind of has never been filled, I will still be open to the possibility of looking for shorts in there, aiming towards this level, and then let's see if price even goes further down. if price by any chance starts moving lower from here and even breaks this level, kind of opening door a little bit more to the downside, then and hopefully price will retrace, maybe finding something here, maybe this demand zone, retrace a little bit. Looks like I'm thinking that this guy is actually holding price, kind of goes higher after that, and I'll be open to the possibility of looking for that sell again on gold. So there you go. We have 1, 2, 3 scenarios that I'm looking for on gold in there. How the good pairs then here left with the franc Swiss. Just go along, man. Just go along on our franc Swiss. I'm going to tell you. Come back in 2 weeks time. We'll see. Yeah, man. What about to say? 1999, 2000, 2007. that was 10 years ago, man. 13 years ago. 2007. Jesus. 1998. Yeah, that level is still fresh for sure. For sure. Yeah, price wants to continue to bounce in between this level. Free to do so. I'm going to play a little bit more of a higher time frame. Yeah, I can. Maybe hopefully from here is when we kind of have this move down. Like at this point, yeah, maybe that's going to happen. I don't like to see many highs together. Even though this one actually it was still a good level. It was actually a beautiful level in here on the lower time frame. Where price still reacted from. As you can see, none of these highs kind of reacted from there. It's kind of where we were. Yeah. They could. Again, this I'm going to play gold, honestly. 1, 2, 3, kind of go up, go down. Let's see. Goes down, goes up. Then I'm not going to short in here, kind of go higher. Or level 3 is go down, go up, maybe go down. Something like that. And we'll see after that what's going to happen. There you go. Take a screenshot. Yeah, it's basically what I'm going to do in here. Oil is one of those pairs that I'm trying to get slowly started to add into my portfolio to start to trading it. The gap in here was such a magnetic situation of attracting price towards there. 2 levels that I wanted to short. One was in here. Price kind of missed that level. After we kind of had this move. Again, I have no idea why on this server I have this spike in there. But in reality is that with this spike, price actually reacted from where I wanted on the left. Which was this supply. I had this supply for a long time. And with that spike, we reached that level. Without that spike, we never reached that level. So, and that goes a little bit with the difference of what to expect afterwards. Because if price just falls in here, it's for me kind of an engulf upwards. If price actually went there, that's kind of enough. Because that's basically the space that I wanted to see be filled in there. So 2 levels that I wanted to look for. Short, one it was in here and the other one was actually in there. That bastard never went to react from here. So we had managed to break these lows. I was looking for price to retest a little bit this level. Nice approach. Price moved down, kind of first sign of bearishness. Price went up, but then never reacted from here again. And when I saw it, kind of price was already moving like this. I placed kind of a sell limit in there. Price never touched my level. And it just filled the space, kind of the move that I was looking for. Not even that way, just wanted to literally fill the gap all the way until here. It was kind of the trade that I wanted. Let's see, even price now may still react from there. It's moving up to the upside quite nicely. It kind of reacted from that demand now in here. Let's see. Now it's a different story, right? Initially we had retrieved this target all the way through. As soon as kind of we noticed that price was about to turn, we had a specific target to look for. Now we need to reassess again and see what to expect from oil. There's even a chance the eventual price to go all the way a little bit more further down, but let's see now what's going to happen. Yep, now it's just going to monitor oil again without really taking action. $190.66 on gold. 966. This one is here, right? Yeah, the base of it. Base, the other level. Even to take this size one more time. Like gold's going to, yeah, by the FOMC meeting, for sure they're going to be one side or the other. What do you mean? How do we do this tag thing? The FOMC is going to move price. Yeah. It looks like the beginning of February when we had the Fed meeting on the 1st, ECB on the 2nd, and then NFP on Friday. Yeah, so it's going to be full of news. Embrace for impact. Ah, the tag. Ah, you mean on the... Got it. On YouTube. Got it. Yeah, not really sure. Yeah, there you go. Tagged you. Crypto, let's go. Jack, are you still there? All right, they basically exhausted their full power on this move up and down. Now they kind of need to slow down a little bit. Yeah, they kind of need to slow down a little bit, maybe. I don't know. If you guys remember last week, the prediction we made, price was somewhere in here, I believe so. 29, yeah, it was around the 22nd. That I wanted price to go exactly to this demand zone, but I wanted to even to go there over the weekend, which never went. Price pausing here. If you guys remember, we had actually that range, right? Kind of first price going upwards, then spike down and to move to the upside after that. So that was one of the demand zones that for me was still valid. I think everyone can look at it, right? This one never got there. Pausing a little bit for a second, and then you had that move down. Yeah, these trend lines, they kind of work quite nicely as well. To look for the breakout and continuation. And the supply, basically, initially maximum some reaction from here, but then this was the next supply level for price to go to. There's maybe a few levels above it that price still eventually could go to, maybe at the extreme in here and even at the highs. It was crazy what happened this day, all the way up, down. And now what we expect now, right? So I don't even like now. I don't like at all when we have kind of this defined range like this. Now I need for price to kind of evolve and move away from this level. To be honest, a few times already this respected. What can I look now in here? Like, are you going to stay within this range for a while between this 27 and 30k mark? What can I expect now? So we're looking for BTC to go above, to break 30, to get to 32. Yeah, maybe. Again, we are within this range. So no engulf down because we literally feel the spice in there. Not exactly engulf up because we kind of feel the spice in here as well. Extreme. Is there anything even above the highs in there? It's really nice reaction from this left shoulder. There's even maybe a little bit of a supply in here as well to look for. Compression. This well can be interesting. Somewhere in here can be interesting below all these lows. Yeah, I mean, I have no clue. There you go. I have no clue what to expect in here at this point. Intraday setups. Reaction from there. Yeah, reacting from the supply. Yeah, target reacted there, target reacted there. Yeah, man. Intraday just keep following all the supplies being taken, all the demands being taken, until eventually one of the others is going to explode. Yeah. Eventually going to explode to one side or the other. $32 is even higher, right? Yeah. Bigger picture could go there. And then kind of move down. This turn 25 mark can be interesting as well. So go a little bit higher. Maybe this high hasn't really reached the final destination at the top in here on this heavy candle. So maybe it can go a little bit higher in there. Retest one more time somewhere in there. That could be interesting. Let's kind of to go down, start moving upwards a little bit, retest that level, and then go down again. Oof. Yeah. Basically, the big moves that I was looking for, they are done, which was the move all the way from these lows, from this demand zone, kind of all the way, at least feel this compression, and then kind of there, that's done. And then by any chance, any retrace towards that level, kind of all the way to the low, that's done. Without breaking any highs and without breaking any lows, so don't think exactly have any space in there to be looking for or to trade. I don't see any swing trades at all after that we saw by short term is yeah, exactly. Intraday, not even just intraday, intra-hour setup opportunities. I think that you can trade. I think that you can try to find opportunities to take advantage of. Yeah, I think that can be the right approach. Is this level already? What am I doing? Somewhere in here, is this being taken? Maybe hasn't really reached that level. This one in here can be a little bit fresh as well. Maybe even retesting now this demand zone. Another move upwards. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, not really sure. Inter-seconds. Ethereum, a little bit of a different story in here. Yeah, this will never really reach that level. This one of the last demand zones around here, then could be that level in there. Ethereum reacted all the way through the extreme, all the way to there, but we actually managed to take this massive high already. What am I looking for? Good. Go away. But go. So yes, Ethereum managed to take this out this high, kind of a little bit of that zone in there as well. We had this compression to the upside, paying attention to this variant here. Eventually maybe we can target again this one. This was kind of haven't really reached that level. This one, nice reaction in there, a little bit of that level, taking it. There's maybe something in here that price can still go through. In this case, with the spike, we actually managed to break a little bit lows because this one is still fresh. But yeah, I think there's a little bit more of a tendency maybe to look for more room to the downside on Ethereum, because I think there's maybe a little bit more space to fill to the downside comparing with Bitcoin. Nevertheless, if price by any chance wants to go a little bit higher, there's still these levels. Like for example, this is the supply level that Bitcoin actually reacted from. It's exactly this one on this specific day and time, and Ethereum hasn't really got there yet. So that's a little bit what to look for. Maybe eventually you can aim towards that level. Maybe you can even go higher a little bit more. Fake out is about top before maybe moving to the downside. So yeah, maybe a little bit more clear on Ethereum than BTC at this point. Yep, I think there's a little bit more room to the downside in here. Nevertheless, this is a good level. Right? If price by any chance wants to just continue to go higher, it can, because it's still a good level, it's still a good demand. Even retesting this level, kind of, it's a good level. It's not a strong, it's a strong wall. This one it wasn't, but this one it is. Yeah, that's it, guys. Honestly, yeah, that's it. I don't really know what else to say about that. Yeah, let's see. Finally, hopefully, we are going to have dollar moving away this week, creating either upward, up to the upside, to the downside. We'll see. Dollar from Swiss, I'll definitely continue to look for a long in there. Yen pairs is going to be interesting. For how much longer are they going to continue to go higher? Maybe dollar yen. I may be interested in looking for price getting closer to this level, or maybe a turn. Kind of managed to break slightly this low, even though kind of reacted from that level. So it's going to be interesting actually if by any chance, imagine that actually the yen wants to go and target this level. Because we respected this one, never broke it, went all the way up, kind of managed to break a little bit of this highs, but respected this extreme. Imagine that now this one is actually something to look for, and price actually wants to go there. Yeah, that could be a massive move to the upside on the yen. So first and foremost, curious to see how price can react from there, but maybe we're actually going all the way until there. Ooh, let's see. As we respect that level, the monthly, yeah, monthly never broke this level. It kind of respected all the way through here. So maybe actually we want to go all the way through there. Interesting. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a good play. Yeah, maybe you are lucky. Maybe you can get a big move to the opposite side if you do manage to catch the trade all the way through the at one of the extremes. Especially in this kind of market, that price all of a sudden can move all the way to one direction, from one side to the other. Yeah. Anything else in between, just take your normal profits wherever it may be. Yeah, the yen pair. Interesting. Let's see what's going to happen. Guys, thank you very much. New faces in here. We have the brothers about Trader FX and Matt Home. So everyone else, thank you so much. Keep trying to BTC tends to follow dollar yen. Yeah, that's a correlation that I haven't really paid attention to. yeah, maybe need to look into it. Enjoy your weekend. Yep. If it is bank holiday for you on Monday, again, the market's going to be open. I don't really expect low volatility in there. It's actually going to be some kind of news in the US Monday in the afternoon. So, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next weekend. After hopefully new price movements to look for, new structures after price most likely is going to move during this week with all these movements. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Enjoy the sun. Hopefully it's a sunny day outside. Yeah, I'll see you in a week from now. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. Obrigado.